My name is Estelle Brink and I'm with Jericho Walls International Prayer Network. We are busy with our series of Watchmen on the Wall. And last time we looked at how to present our case when there's a specific assignment before the Lord and then before those He sends us to, and how to bring the matter before people as well. Today I want to focus on what happened to Nehemiah once he received this favor from the king. The first form of opposition he faced and how did he handle it. Now we read in Nehemiah 2 verse 10 to 12 that when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the Ammonite, the official heard it, they were deeply disturbed that a man had come to seek the well-being of the children of Israel. Now in every situation there is a status quo, whether good or bad. In the case of Nehemiah, it was not favorable to the people of Israel. So when they found out that something good was now going to be done for the Jews, they were not going to be part of it, they become upset. Likewise, it will happen to us. But look at Nehemiah. When he heard of this, he did not engage them in conversation. Likewise, we must be aware of the fact that when God blesses us to do a certain type of work, there might be individuals in the world or even fellow believers that will have a specific opinion about the work we do. One lesson we can learn from him is not to respond to accusation. What did he do? He focused on the work. We read in Nehemiah 2 verse 12 to 16 that he started out by a personal inspection of the condition of the city to assess the magnitude of the work that must be done. He did this by himself at first. Likewise, when the Lord gives us a specific assignment, there is wisdom in not posting everything we think and do on Facebook. We need to wait on the Lord to know what and when and where to share something. We first need to make an assessment of the matter. What is right, what is wrong, what is needed, and then take it to the Lord in prayer. Secondly, we read in Nehemiah 2 verse 16 that up until verse 17, he did not converse with any of those that would eventually help with the task. He by himself first inspected without being influenced by the opinions of the Jews, the officials, the priests, the nobles, and the others. So there's a lesson to be learned there. In verse 18, he called them together and now he posed to them the conditions he saw for himself. And then what did he do? He started to encourage them, spurring them on, casting the vision, stating God's presence is with them. This caused them to look away from their own perspective and to start the work. Now in the same way, as a watchman, this is what we must do. We must state the matter of the work, looking away from our emotional entanglements or overwhelmedness about certain things. Remember, there will always be obstacles in every assignment God gives us that may seem like a mountain. But we have to hear from the Lord what is His view, His perspective on a matter. And then from that point of view, encourage people or the workers involved in the vision. It is, after all, His work. In Nehemiah 2, verse 19 and 20, we read that when those who criticize and hear of the way you encourage the workers, they will come and laugh at you. This is what happened to them. But remember, those who are not working together with us will not share in the fruit of the work. So let them stand aside. It will be impossible to appease everyone. Just focus on the work and encouraging those who are working with you to do the same. So how was the work done? The first thing Nehemiah did was to identify the first part of how the project was going to be done. His first assignment of workers was to identify and start the rebuilding of the original gates. We read of this in detail in the whole of chapter Nehemiah 3. Then, what does that mean for us as watchmen? We too have to hear from God step by step what we must do and how we must do it. In order to build something, you cannot start by just putting up the roof. The groundwork must be done first, and that usually takes the longest to do. Spiritually, this means we have to identify the gates of the work the Lord has given us. Places where the work is vulnerable in order to set up gates or watch posts and post gatekeepers. Now, these gates or focus areas in our ministry or work involves how we will watch over the work to be done. What will come into the ministry, what will go out from the ministry. So the gates must be guarded. We do not have the time to speak now about the specific spiritual significance of each of the gates of Jerusalem, which was restored during the time of Nehemiah. Perhaps we will do that another time. But similarly, like then, you and I have to ask the Lord about spiritual gates and identify them in our ministries and work. And then write down the concerns for each one. Pray over each one as a team or a group or a family. And then assign different individuals to start taking care in prayer for each one of these gates or areas. In our next session, we will look at the second level attack that comes against the work of a watchman over time. So do not miss out on that, so we can equip you to stand amidst the battle.